What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you catching this video. Whenever you catching this video, it's going to be the right time, man. Just got back. It took me a 2 minute, no, 2 minute. It took me a 2 day step away, man, unplugged from the channel. And I was definitely working on other things, but yeah, from time to time, I'm gonna take my time. I felt like it was the perfect time. I put in like 50 videos and shit, take my time to myself, just to kind of decompress, reset. I think that's so important. I mean, that's so important to keep yourself balanced, at least for me, may not be for everybody else, but for me, balance is important. And speaking of balance, that's kind of what I want to talk about in this video. I want to talk about the importance of balance, and I want to talk about mental health. That's what I want to talk about. I don't know how many people on my YouTube channel came over from Facebook or know me personally. I know there's a few of y'all, but in this video, I want to talk about mental health specifically because I have been a person that struggled with it throughout my life. I ain't gonna say throughout my life, but in my early 20s, pretty much from my early 20s, like 22, 23, all the way up to like 27, 28, I struggled with mental health issues. And when I say I struggled with mental health issues, I mean mental breakdowns. I mean taking medication. I mean in and out of psych-wards. Going to jail. Having rage episodes, manic situations. I was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar. It was a lot of those things. And I have a great deal of experience with those things, both going into it, experiencing it, and then also coming out of it and healing all of those things, and I think that's a huge testimony for me, and that's something that I think that's where a lot of this comes from. At one point I was very embarrassed about those things. I was very disheartened about those things, but now it's like one of the greatest things that I feel like could happen to me, and I feel like I have a very special and unique relationship with it. Okay, first off, I want to talk. First the thing I want to talk about when it comes to mental health is how common it is. Okay, people try to make it seem like it's the people that's in the psych wards, or it's the people that's having episodes or walking around talking to themselves. That's the ones that's crazy, but our society is crazy. Our society has mental health problems. Everybody walking around with internal conflict and turmoil. There's not very many people you're gonna meet who have balanced who are whole. Matter of fact, most of us are dealing with some type of childhood trauma. Most of us are dealing with some type of family trauma. Most of us, damn near all of us. It's rare for there to be a person who is whole and healed. And I wish people would stop treating this situation as if it is, because it's not. People treating the situation like healed is normal, and it's not. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Normal ain't always sane, you feel me? But yes, I experienced a lot throughout those years, like going through the psych wards, meeting different people in there, seeing different, different diagnoses, seeing different people's, episodes or mental issues play out, seeing my own play out, seeing how people responded to me. And what I learned from most of that is that the mind is a very powerful thing, for one. Your mind is a very powerful thing. and there is something to chemicals, like there, like when I talk about videos, when I talk about like masculine and feminine energy, I swear y'all, that's where a lot of that came from. When I was diagnosed with bipolar, I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I was experiencing, okay? When it came to bipolar, and they say I was diagnosed with bipolar, what I was experiencing was something that a lot of people experience, but a lot of people don't talk about it. And a lot of people don't even deal with this. I was dealing with all this within myself, and there's a lot of people who do deal with this. But I was having conversation. It's pretty much what everybody do. Like when your mind is telling you one thing, but your heart is telling you another thing, and it's like you're kind of like choosing between the two. Like you might go with your mind. At one point, you might be like, yeah, this is right, and then something may happen and make you feel something. Now you're going with your heart, and you kind of just split, and you get to a point where you're going back and forth between the two, and you just don't know. You're not sitting in the middle, which is what I learned. That healed all of this. But you're going back and forth between the two, and think of it. Look at this. As you're doing this, and these are like chemical. These are like, this is a part of your nervous system. So every time you go into a thought, y'all, it's sending a chemicals. It's a chemical response happening in your body. Every time you feel a certain emotion, there's a chemical response. Your nervous system is responding to that. So you're doing this, I'm doing this, like, and it's just I'm anxious all the time, and I'm like, I'm constantly tired. I'm constantly exhausted. I don't even need the voices from other people. But the schizophrenia come from that. Being a person who I was listening to this side of myself, listening to that side of myself. I'm anxious, so I don't trust in myself. I don't feel safe in myself. I don't feel comfortable within myself. And then I got these voices outside of me. I'm listening to everybody else. Everybody else has their opinion, and they got strong opinions. And mine's just like quiet, like I don't know. So I'm listening to everything. So as I go back and I sit with myself, I'm hearing all these voices, all these suggestions, and I'm trying to choose. I'm trying to choose which one is the right way to go. As I look back on that now, there's no wonder why I struggle so much. And there's no wonder why I felt so much inner turmoil and just, depression and just out of sorts and out of alignment with myself. And I have so much love and compassion for that version of myself, and also for anybody else who's going through that. But in saying that, I am an example and a testimony that does not have to be the synopsis of your entire life. You can turn that shit completely around. I turned that completely around, 100% completely around, and so can you. And what I love about it is that I don't look back on it, with this disharmony or this disgrace. I appreciate it because I know that it's not uncommon as they make it. Them people in the hospitals told me that I would never not be able to take medication. My significant other at the time had no belief in me. Like there was that, like, in fact, that was just another voice that was causing turmoil, inner turmoil. It was chaotic. My internal world was chaotic, and if I had anything working for me, it was the strong desire that I didn't want to live. I didn't want to keep living like this. I didn't want to keep living like this. I wanted to change this, and I was stubborn enough to believe that I knew better than the doctors. I just was stubborn enough to believe. I could not believe that I was just broken. I knew that something was off of me, and it was scary, and it was terrifying, and I was angry, and I was sad, and I was hurt and depressed. But it's like I knew, I trusted that this could change. And if you know somebody who's going through that, if you're going through that silently, and you're just trying to hold it together and make it another day, no, like you don't have to. You might be wearing a mask right now, but no, this could change for you. You can turn that all the way around. You could be the epitome of health. You know, they told me I had to take medication. That's not the answer, man. It's not the answer. You're the answer. You're the answer. If I had to give advice to anybody going through that, spiritual advice, spiritual advice would be, of all those voices, let them voices be every loud. Let them say what they got to say. But stay in the middle. Don't move in the voices. Just stay in the middle. It's gonna be loud, but stay in the middle. Do something that keeps you in the middle. Do something that gets your attention off of what's going on in your head. But don't let it be a destructive thing. You know, don't let it be something that I don't know. It's levels to it. It's a process. You know, because sometimes you're gonna have to have things to distract you. You know, sometimes you're gonna have to have vices. You know, I can't. I would be sitting here lying if I didn't say I didn't need vices at times. You know, I would be lying if I said I didn't. You know, do engage in destructive patterns. You know what I'm saying? But the greatest thing you can do is just, even though it's the outro, like come from right where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, just stop agreeing for a while. Walk away from everything. Stop listening to people. I had to get away from everybody, you know. I had to get away from everybody for a huge amount of time, you know. I had to accept that my life was different. I had to talk to myself. I had to coach myself. I had to journal, you know. I started writing, you know. I started looking up. I was always looking up like information. I got tired of looking up shit. Like I was looking up how to, you know, how to heal traumas and how to get stuff out of your mind and how to know if it's you or voices. I was looking up spiritual stuff because there's certain practices, psychology and medical field and spiritual, like certain things have ceilings. So I was everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I was everywhere. I was digging deep. And I was praying to God. You know, my relationship with God was out of whack. Cause I'm like, how could God let this happen to me? Like, what's going on with me? Like, why do I deserve this? And I've just been a good person up to this point. But it wasn't that moment that defined that moment. That moment, without that moment, I would not be able to even be given this message. I would not be able to reach people like I do. It's that moment put something in my eyes, and it put something in my presence to where people just come to me, and it's like I can see people talking, and they'll feel like this, like they unheard. They feel like they just going on another rant, and they'll just start to come and just like focus. And that's a testament of God, you know. That's God granting that experience that I thought was a curse. And it's the same for you. You have testimonies that you might be going through something right now. And if you just hold on, like it's gonna turn all the way around. You know. With that being said, like the video already at damn near 15 minutes. I don't want to make it too long. But I hope that there was something in there that you could use. And with that being said, you know, whether today is a good day or a rough day, or you barely making ends meet, or you're at the pinnacle of your success, either way, the greatest place that you could come from is where right where you are. Not perfect, just real. All right. I wish you peace, love, and abundance every single day, but especially the days where it rains. All right. Um, I'm about to get back on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoyed the video, let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to subscribe to the channel to check out more, you hit that subscribe button and make sure you turn on your bell so you know whenever I drop. And then I got other videos you can check out, you know what I'm saying, previous content, and, you know, pretty much some news you can use, at least hopefully anyway. With that being said, I appreciate y'all tuning in today. I am out.